It's going to be a quick one today, but something that I wanted to share with you. It's an idea that I use on a pretty regular basis, and I just realized the other day that I haven't ever used it here. And so stay tuned. I want to just share with you a concept that I think will change the way that you look at your business in a small way, but in a much larger way as you implement it in your daily activities.
Originating from deep inside the Rocky Mountains, transported through the power of the internet, and arriving inside your tiny earbuds. It's the Appraiser Coach Podcast.
Minisode.
Welcome to the podcast, everybody. Dustin Harris hanging out with you in the podcast chair. Appreciate you joining me. I just got back last night from another great round of mastermind events in Dallas and Salt Lake. Had a little lower attendance in both of them, but absolutely powerhouse meeting. So I'm on fire today. I'm absolutely just pumped up with excitement about the appraisal profession and some great appraisal business owners out there who are really doing some wonderful things in their areas and making a lot of money. And it's awesome. It's awesome to see. Got a show today. It's going to be a quick one today, but something that I wanted to share with you. It's an idea that I use on a pretty regular basis, and I just realized the other day that I haven't ever used it here. And so stay tuned. I want to just share with you a concept that I think will change the way that you look at your business in a small way, but in a much larger way as you implement it in your daily activities. So first want to pause here, of course, remind you that we are sponsored by ANOW Software. ANOW is it's the way I keep track of everything. You know, I'll tell you the story in a little bit about what happened in my mastermind yesterday. I hope this person doesn't mind me sharing. I'm not going to reveal any names, but it was kind of fun to see the process that this person went through yesterday when we talked about ANOW Software and her business. But in the meantime, you can go to anow.com/coach. One more time, that is anow.com/coach. All right. So on a pretty regular basis, I deal with appraisal business owners. I mean, as an appraiser coach, that's what I do. I mentor both on a big scale. When I say big scale, I mean we have the all-star team, which is a couple hundred appraisers across the country where we are meeting regularly online and sharing information back and forth. There is that newsletter that comes out once a month. I meet on a little smaller scale with the Appraiser Academy. That is a live meeting once a month where we get together and talk about individual questions. And I present about an hour webinar every single month on another principle or another methodology to increase the efficiency in your office or some other, concept that will help appraisers to be more efficient, more effective at what they do. And then, of course, we've got the Dream Team Mastermind, which I referred to at the beginning of this podcast, where we every quarter meet in a city in a hotel conference room and just pound it out, just nail it on every single individual in that room. They have a full hour to share whatever they're working on in their business, and I'm able to help them to kind of push that to the next level. I also meet one-on-one with appraisers on a pretty regular basis. I've been doing more and more of that lately, and it's been a lot of fun to be able to do that. I've got some new packages, by the way, available where we can put together a session that will just really help you to move to the next level. I've had a lot of appraisers come to me and say, Dustin, I like all this other stuff that you're doing, but and probably the mastermind would be the best thing for me. But the honest truth is I'm so overwhelmed right now that trying to take a day out of my office to meet for a full day, in Vegas or Dallas or Salt Lake or DC or whatever, it just isn't in the cards. And I know, and they always say, I know that, obviously I'm not serious about working on my business, or I would just make time. And I'm kind of, nodding my head. Yes. But Dustin, I just need some help, and I want to do what you do. And so we put together some packages to be able to get this. Stemmed from multiple people calling my assistant Lee and saying, Lee, I just need him to hold my hand and walk me step by step through the process to get from where I am to where I'm going to be. And so we put together some packages that are done over Zoom meeting, over webcam, where you will meet with me as frequently as you want. And we sit down for hour sessions or half-hour sessions at a time, and we talk through where you are, where you want to be, your vision, and then we lay out a plan. And we just work through that until you get to where you want to be. So it's kind of fun, kind of exciting what's going on there. Okay, all of that. I want to get to the actual topic today. But before I do, I want to pause here and remind you that we are sponsored by Now Software. I want to tell you a story that occurred yesterday. Please forgive me, this individual. I didn't ask her permission to share this, but and she won't mind. Individual in my Salt Lake dream team yesterday. And by the way, I met in Dallas with my dream team, and we also talked about Now Software, which is kind of interesting. But I'm laughing because I'm hesitating now. I don't know if I should share this or not, but I'm going to. We're sitting in the mastermind, and this individual, and she's a veteran mastermind. She's been with me for 4+ years. It's been awesome getting to know her and watching her transition over the years. But she talked about managing her appraisal office, and she looked at me and she says, "And don't even try to talk me into Now Software, because I absolutely refuse to pay for Now Software." And I said, "Okay, cool. That's, whatever, we'll talk through this." About 30 minutes later, she was asking the details as to how to sign up for Now Software. Folks, I'll tell you, Now will absolutely blow your mind with here's the thing. This is the thing that I told this individual, and everybody in the room agreed. Everyone that had been using Now Software in that room had said the same thing. It's not a cost. It's not a cost. I tell you, the cost is trying to do it another way. That's a cost. The time you will spend trying to do on your own what Now Software does at a touch of a button, that's a cost, because time is money. And as a business owner, you want to save time because you want to save money. Now Software will allow you to be able to do so much more with less. Go to anow.com/coach. One more time, it's anow.com/coach. Alrighty, folks, we are back. We're talking about a concept, an idea. Just it's a verbiage that I made up years ago, and when I remember to use it, I think it sticks with people. I just want to share it with you today. So when I meet with people one-on-one, which we kind of talked about before the breaks, setting up this idea of finding a coach, finding a mentor. It doesn't have to be me, but find somebody who will help you to get to where you want to be. That coach should be somebody who is on a level that they can pull you up, is on a level that knows things that they can share with you that will help you to conceptualize change in your personal life, in your appraisal business. I hired a coach yesterday. Actually, 10 minutes before I started my mastermind, I finally finalized, and I called this individual and gave him my credit card number, and let's just say he charged my credit card a great deal of money with my permission after I'd gone through the process of vetting him out. So yes, the coach now has a coach again. And I am excited to sit down with this individual and go through some coaching. This is on a personal side, not a business side, just a personal side to be able to just get me to the next level where I want to be in life, in my relationships, in my personal growth. And so, man, I highly encourage getting a coach. But in my coaching, there's this idea that we're not going to completely change everything because you're doing some things right. And so this is the idea that I want you to conceptualize today. This is the idea that I think will be helpful to you as you move forward. And the idea is keep, tweak, and leap. Okay. So as I sit down with appraisers and as I talk to them about their business, about their personal life, about their relationships, about where they're at and where they want to be, Okay. So just imagine this process, whether it be online, whether this be in person, whether it be in a mastermind, we're constantly looking at these three things. And that is, we're going to look at where you are and where you want to be, what your vision is. And with each of these individual things, we are going to say, okay, do we want to keep that? Okay. And that would be a situation where it's working for you. Do we want to keep what you're doing? Do we want to tweak what you're doing? Okay, in other words, you're doing some things right here, but if we just change this element, if we just change this idea, then I think it will make all the difference in the world. Okay, so that's where we're going to tweak things. And then we've got the extreme side of leap. Okay, so leap basically means you're doing it all wrong here. Okay, what you're doing here just is not working for you. And so let's leap to something better. Let's get rid of what you're doing. Let's do something better. Okay, so this does not obviously just apply to coaching. This does not just apply to mentoring and walking someone else through this process. This is something that I hope that you are doing on a regular basis. I don't care if it's your business. I don't care if it's your personal life. I don't care what it is, your relationships, your health, your money strategies, whatever. I hope that on a pretty regular basis, you are looking at everything that you're doing and you're saying, and it may not even be a formal thing, but I would encourage it to be. The more formal you can be on this, the better you're going to be down the road. Okay. So on a pretty regular basis, I want you to ask yourself what you're doing. Okay. Let's use an example. Let's say that you are going to the gym. And you signed up for a gym, you got a gym membership, and it's a year-long membership. So you're kind of stuck in that contract for a year, right? But let's say, you're going and you're not necessarily doing everything that you should. Maybe there's some other things you can do there, right? So you're going to ask yourself, do I want to keep what I'm doing? You're not forced to go to the gym, and maybe you can get out of the contract with a penalty or something like that, okay? Do you want to keep what you're doing? Do you want to tweak what you're doing? Or do you want to leap from what you're doing and go to something else? Okay. And maybe the case is you just change the way that you're working out, or the number of times that you're working out, or the length of time that you're there at the gym, whatever the case may be. Folks, you can apply this to pretty much everything in your life. And I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you do. I highly recommend that you will take an opportunity on a regular basis, whether it be in your business, your personal life, your relationships, your health, whatever. Ask yourself, do I want to keep this thing, tweak this thing, or leap from this thing? And as you do that, you will continue to refine where you are and continue to better yourself and your business. I talked earlier about the dream team. And I'll tell you, folks, again, yesterday I met with my dream team, and these were the core people. These are the people who have been here years, not months, okay? And like I said, it was a smaller group this time for whatever reason. It's the summer months. But I'll tell you, it was so cool to see where they had been and where they are now. And why is that? I'll tell you why, folks. The bottom line is because these are individuals who care about their business, and they have stuck with it, and they have constantly asked themselves, do I want to keep this thing? Do I want to tweak this thing? Or do I want to leap from this thing? Keep, tweak, or leap. Folks, if you want to join us for the Dream Team or the coaching that I talked about earlier, please reach out to me, thecoach@theappraisercoach.com. Talk to you soon.
You've been listening to the Appraiser Coach podcast with Dustin Harris. If you like what you hear, please give us a 5-star rating and post a short review on iTunes. For more in-depth insider information on how you can make more money as a real estate appraiser, visit theappraisercoach.com and sign up for the All-Star team today. Thanks for joining us. And now, get out there and create some value.